Shalom, Kal Haloyim La, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ruach HaKodash, double honors to my apostles, a great millstone, who taught me this truth, and Shalom to the 144,000 and the elect. What the fuck? Stop playing with me, Satan. Let me start over. Shalom, Kal Haloyim La, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ruach HaKodash, double honors to my apostles, a great millstone, who taught me this truth, and Shalom to the 144,000 and the elect. I'm Zaim, and this is another video entitled The Unclean Spirit Returns. Lord will, you're edified. Matthew 12:43. Matthew 12:43. When the unclean spirit is gone out of a man, that unclean spirit, let's look that up. Unclean, like Esau said.
Strong's G 169. Akarthartas. Akarthartas.
Outline of biblical usage: not cleansed, unclean, in a ceremonial sense, that which must be abstained from. So these ways, let's read on. In a ceremonial sense, that which must be abstained from according to the Levitical law. And when we go into the Levitical law, it tells us about ways that we should abstain from. B, in a moral sense, unclean in thought and life. So we should abstain from unclean thoughts and unclean ways of life. Strong's definition: as a negative particle and a presumed derivative, meaning cleansed, impure. These thoughts and these ways of life that are impure or morally or especially demonic, foul, or unclean. So the unclean spirit in Matthew 12:43 is a demonic. When the unclean spirit or the demonic is gone out of a man, he walketh through dry places. And what are these dry places, you ask? The earth. Job 1. Slakia. Job 1. And start at 7. And the Lord Yahweh said unto Satan, whence comest thou? Then Satan answered the Lord Yahweh and said, from going to and fro in the earth, which is the dry places, and from walking up and down in it. Verse 8. And the Lord Yahweh said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one that feareth Yahweh and escheweth evil? Let's see what that word escheweth means. Let's check perfect first. Okay, let's check perfect first.
Strong's H 8535. Tom.
Thumb. The word there is thumb. Perfect, complete, and we are perfect, complete. One who lacks nothing in the physical strength, beauty, etc., sound, wholesome, an ordinary, quiet sort of person, complete, morally innocent, having integrity, one who is morally or ethically pure. And we get that by having this knowledge, this wisdom, this understanding, and applying it through wisdom, which is wisdom, which makes us pure, holy, sacred. Strong's definition: complete, usually morally pious, specifically gentle, dear, coupled together, perfect, plain, undefiled. You're not defiled by the unclean, unmoral thought, unclean and morally unclean thoughts and ways of life. You are upright. Now let's go to Escheweth, see what that means.
Strong's H 5493. Sur. Sur.
Sawar. Sawar. Outline of biblical usage: to turn aside, depart. So we turn aside and depart from evil, which makes us somewhat upright. Well, upright because we don't do the evil things or the people of the world do. Although we all sin and come short of the glory of the Most High, we try to practice the laws, statutes, and commandments to the best of our ability. To turn aside, turn in unto, to depart, depart from, way, avoid, we void, to be removed, to come to an end, to turn aside, to cause to turn aside, cause to depart, remove, take away, put away, depose, to put aside, leave undone, retract, reject, abolish, to be taken away, removed. Let's see. Okay, that's enough of there. Let's look up evil.
Strong's H 7451. Ra. Ra. And second entry, Ra. Ra. And third entry, Ra'ah. Ra'ah.
Rai. Rai. Yeshua's evil. Evil is bad, disagreeable, malignant, bad, unpleasant, evil, giving pain, unhappiness, misery. Bad, bad, worse than, worse, sad, unhappy. Bad, unkind, bad, evil, wicked, in general, of persons or thoughts, deeds or actions. So when we eschew with evil, we depart from wicked deeds and wicked actions, wicked thoughts, and wicked people. Let's go back to Job 1 and 8. And the Lord Yahweh said unto Satan, Hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one that feareth Yahweh, and escheweth evil? Verse 9. Then Satan answered the Lord Yahweh and said, Doth Job fear Yahweh for naught? Hast not thou made an hedge about him, and about his house, and about all that he hath on every side? Thou hast blessed the work of his hands, and his substance is increased in the land. But put forth thine hand now, and touch all that he hath, and he will curse thee to thy face. And the Lord Yahweh said unto Satan, Behold, all that he hath is in thy power, only upon himself put not forth thine hand. So Satan went forth from the presence of the Lord Yahweh to go cause hell to Job. Now let's go back. Matter of fact, let's get a precept. First Peter 5. Let's go to 8. Now, how do we eschew evil? Depart from evil people, evil thoughts, morally, and ways of life. This is one way. First Peter 5 and 8. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, Satan, the demonic, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. Let's see what that word sober is. Let Esau say it.
Strong's G 3525. Napho.
Outline of biblical usage. To be sober, to be calm and collected in the spirit, to be temperate, dispassionate, circumspect. Be sober, watch. Strong's definition. To abstain from wine, i.e. figuratively to be discreet, be sober, watch. Let's see what vigilant is. Let Esau say it.
Strong's G 1127. Gregareo.
Outline of biblical usage. To watch, metaphor, give strict attention to, be cautious, active. So we have to be cautious, be active, give strict attention to watching to make sure Satan doesn't come and throw us off of our path of faith, which we fight for daily, to do righteousness and do the commandments of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua. A. To take heed lest through remission and indolence some destructive calamity suddenly overtake one. Ooh. Let's look at adversary. That Esau said.
Strong's G 476. Antidikos.
Adversary, opponent, an opponent in a suit of law, an adversary, an enemy. So Satan and his physical counterparts, Esau, Edom, are our enemy, are our adversary. Let's go back. Be sober, which means to watch. Be vigilant. Be sober. Be vigilant. Watch attentively, because your adversary, our enemy, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. Whom resist steadfast in the faith. That's how we resist Satan and the things that he will bring upon us. By steading fast in the faith, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world. So the same things that we go through, our brethren goes through as well. And Yahushua went through it as well, but he went through it without sinning. But the grace of all, but the power of all grace, who have called us unto his eternal glory by Yahushua Mashiach, after that ye have suffered a while, make you perfect, establish, strengthen, and settle you. To him be the glory and dominion forever and ever. Back in Matthew 12 and 44. Then he saith, I will return unto my house from which I came out. And when he is come, he findeth it empty, swept, and garnished. Precept. Psalm 119. And when he leaves, Psalm 119 and 9 will explain how he why he left, because you have been cleansed by the word and by the ways of the commandments. It says, wherewithal shall a Psalm 119 and 9, it says, wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his ways? By taking heed thereunto according to thy word. So when we take heed according to thy word and do the will of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai, follow the law, statutes, and commandments, the enemy, the devil, the demonics flee from us. Romans 12. And 2. And be not conformed unto this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai. And when we transform and renew our mind and we think a different way, I'll tell you how we think. When we renew our mind, Matthew 6 and 22, the light of the body is the eye, which is the third eye, the mind's eye. If therefore thine eye be single, which is fully into this truth, focusing on this truth and applying it in your ways and actions, thy whole body shall be full of light. And when thy whole body is full of light, and we be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of our mind, which is our spirit, that ye may prove what is the good and acceptable and perfect will of Yahweh. You are made free from these demonics, and some can only come out by way of fasting and prayer. Let's get that. Oh, fucked up. See, the headline reads the demonic. Let's start from 14. Matthew 17 and 14. And when they were come to the multitude, they came to a certain man, kneeling down to him and saying, Lord, have mercy on my son, for he is a lunatic and sore vexed, for oftentimes he falleth into the fire and often into the water. Let's look at that word lunatic. Let Esau say it.
Strong's G 4583. Seleniadzamai. Seleniadzamai.
To be moonstruck or lunatic, to be epileptic, epilepsy being supposed to return and increase with the increase of the moon. This meaning is doubtful, as the Greeks knew nothing of epilepsy. Back in Matthew 17 and 15, Lord, have mercy on my son, for he is lunatic and sore vexed, for oft times he falleth into the fire and oft into the water. he was possessed by a demonic. And I brought him to thy disciples, and they could not cure him. Then Yahushua answered and said, O faithless and perverse generation, how long shall I be with you? How long shall I suffer you? Bring him hither to me. And Yahushua rebuked the devil, the demon, and he departed out of him, and the child was cured from that very hour. Then came the disciples to Yahushua apart and said, Why could not we cast him out? And Yahushua said unto them, Because of your unbelief. For verily I say unto you, if ye have faith as a grain of mustard seed, ye shall say unto this mountain, Remove hence to yonder place, and it shall be removed, and nothing shall be impossible unto you. Howbeit, this is the point, howbeit, this kind goeth not out, but by prayer and fasting. Damn. Satan. Were we in Romans 12? No. Let's finish in Romans 12:2. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of Yahweh. Ephesians 5:25. Ephesians 5:25. Husbands, love your wives, even as Hamashiach also loved the church and gave himself for it. And this is how we cleanse ourselves from these demons, that he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of the water by the word. Let's see. I'm trying to pull a precept here. Let's see. Yeah. John 17:17. Sanctify them through thy truth. Thy word is thy truth. So by having this knowledge, this wisdom, this understanding, and doing what it is that is taught in this word, this truth, you are sanctified. You are immersed in you are immersed in the truth by the Holy Spirit and baptized and sanctified, that you may be cleansed by the washing of the water, which is this truth, and by the word. And 27, that he might present it to himself a glorious church, not having spot or wrinkle or any such thing, but that it should be holy and without blemish. Back in Matthew 12:45, and we'll finish it. Matthew 12:45. Then goeth he and taketh with himself 7 other spirits more wicked than himself, and they enter in and dwell there. And the last state of that man is worse than the first. Even so shall it be also unto this wicked generation. Lord will, you've been edified. Shalom.